Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to look at an interesting little book. So this is The Little Witch, and I'm going to butcher the name of this author. This is Otfried Preussler. I believe he's German. This is a translation. So the translator of this, let me pull up the back of the book here. So Anthea Bell is the translator, so she translated this from the original German. This is a cute little book about a little witch. Now, she's technically not, she's a very young witch, but she's very, very old for our times, because witches live a very, very long time. So she's considered a young child witch, even though she looks like a little old lady. So they have a special holiday night where they dance around and do a bonfire kind of thing, and she's too young to go. So she goes anyway, thinking they're not going to notice her amongst the chaos. Her aunt finds her. She gets in trouble. Her aunt pushes to have her punished, so they take away her broom and make her walk home. It takes her 3 days. So she gets home. The raven who told her is like, you're going to get caught. He's her friend. He speaks to her. He's a very intelligent raven. And, of course, like, it took you 3 days because you got caught. So she goes home. After she rests, she goes, buys another broomstick. And then basically a raven says, you have to be a very good witch for the rest of the year. Because that's basically, she's told to be a very good witch till next year, and they might let her fly with them. So he tells her, you have to be a good witch. So she goes around doing a whole bunch of good deeds. So she helps little old ladies who are gathering firewood, get some firewood. She then helps the forester who's preventing them from gathering firewood and essentially punishes him so they can continue to gather firewood and get it for free. She helps some old children. She entertains them one day and helps them find mushrooms for their parents' inn. She helps a man in winter who's selling chestnuts not be cold anymore or burn himself on the chestnuts because his feet are freezing, his nose is freezing, and he's always burning his hands. So she casts a spell to prevent him from doing that. She helps a poor woman and her children whose husband, who's a tile maker, who's pretty much playing, I believe, Snicker, which I believe, or Skittles, which I think is a pool game. So we're talking balls on a board wooden table kind of pool game. And essentially he's betting and losing all his money constantly. So she curses him, so every time he shoots the ball, it goes through the walls and starts basically destroying the hall. So he's eventually banned from pretty much every place in town, so he can't be spending his money where he's not supposed to, and is stuck at home. And, you know, supporting his family like he's supposed to, rather than wasting all his money on gambling, essentially, and goofing off. So, let's see, what else does she do? She helps a bunch of other people, and it goes through each thing. Open up the book here. Let's see. She helps some old children who are building a snowman, and they're constantly being knocked over by older boys by bringing the snowman to life and having him attack them. He helps the raven's brother and his wife, who basically, the nests around them are being knocked down by these two boys, and basically when he's coming to attack the raven's nest, she shows up and makes them stuck there. So it's like they can't go up, they can't go down, they can't do anything. So they're attacked by the ravens, and eventually the townspeople come and have to rescue them. And she takes off the spell just before, so they can be rescued. So they get punished. I think that's mostly it. There's a couple other little stories in here. So this is definitely designed to be read chapter by chapter. You read each deed. And then she goes to the Witches' Council. Now, she also has to study her book of witchcraft. So she's been doing that in Sicily. She's able to pass the tests and do all the spells. But then her aunt comes and reads off all her good deeds, which apparently, according to the other witches, is being a bad witch, because she's supposed to do bad things to people. So, in order to punish her, they're going to force her to make their bonfire for the bonfire night, and then they're going to pluck out all the hairs on her head. So instead of doing that, what they say, she goes home, tells the raven, he apologizes. He's like, let me come with you. She's like, I know what I'm doing. So he comes with her. She waits the last minute and summons all the other witches' broomsticks to start the fire. And then to get the paper to start the fire, she summons all the older witches' books of witchcraft to start the fire. So she lights everything on a blaze, and the other witches, and then she took away their magic. So she uses a big spell to take away their magic, so they can't practice magic anymore. And they don't have their books, so they can't study again. So she sets them all on fire, their broomsticks, and she's the only witch around, and she's a good witch and does good things. And basically she's alone on this night dancing around the bonfire, as she's pretty much become the only witch around, and she's a good witch. It's a good, fun story, definitely designed to be read chapter by chapter. So you could do that. Let's see how long it is. It's not too bad. Pull it up here. So it's 131 pages, kind of. You can see it finishes up just a little bit. So mostly it's just a little over 130. So not long. Definitely a good story time book. It's very happy and very nice. There's no real evil in this book. It's not scary at all, really. A little bit, but not really all that scary. It's a fun, entertaining book to read aloud with your kids, because you can, again, read it chapter by chapter, so it's good to read at night. So if you're reading a chapter book at night, it's good for the younger kids. I really enjoyed reading this. It didn't take me all that long to read it, so it's not difficult. It's definitely, obviously, it's a children's book. It's a good fantasy witch story if you're looking for something not scary during Halloween, or pretty much any other time of the year, because again, it's talking about good magic and a young witch doing good deeds and helping people. So it's a fun, entertaining children's book that I highly recommend, and I think is pretty popular, because I think this book is, the author died several years ago. He's a war vet. He worked as a school teacher. He did some children's writing, so he was very, very popular. So that's really it for this book review. There's not much else to say about The Little Witch besides it's a good little book. So if you like what you see, be sure to check out the rest of the channel, like and subscribe, comment if you can, and check out what I've got. I mostly do children's books and children's book reviews. I do various films. Sometimes I do more mature stuff if it's education related. We are a secular homeschooling family, so that's kind of where my focus is. So we're not religious, so I cover a bunch of stuff with that in mind. So why this book isn't necessarily educational, it is a good reading level book and a good book to read as a family. So that's set in mind. I also will do a little bit of travel stuff. I'll add more secular homeschooling stuff if we do various different curriculums and stuff. My daughter's, as of the coming out of this video, will be 3. So she's still really young. And so those things will come as we come along. So they're in the works, but again, my daughter's really, really young. So we will get there, as well as the travel stuff. That will be added as we're able to get going. COVID is still happening. Well, this is being filmed in 2021. So yeah, my daughter's still like 2. But COVID is still going on. So I will add travel videos. I have a couple up right now, and I will add them as, we can actually travel. So again, like and subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.